Raw Emotions, Episode 1. These episodes are designed so that I can express what I'm feeling or thinking without following a strict schedule. What does it feel like? Sometimes it's like looking at the world with the halo effect before your migraine sets in. Sometimes it's like a first-degree burn, but underneath your skin. Sometimes it's like running my feet over the flame of a candle. Sometimes whenever I'm walking out and about, I smell this burning scent. Sometimes I smell it at home. Sometimes I smell it in the car. Sometimes I smell it at the coffee shop, or at the deli, or at the grocery store. Sometimes I have a stomach ache. Sometimes it's worse than other days. Sometimes I have a headache. Sometimes I'm really tired. Sometimes it's really hard to swallow. Sometimes it's really hard to breathe. Sometimes I don't taste things. Sometimes I don't feel my tongue. Sometimes my hands and feet burn. It's not a matter of being negative or positive in this respect. It's not about being happy or sad. It's the acknowledgement. It's the acknowledgement that things happen. That things are. The first part in coming to terms with sensations that are outside of your control is to meditate on them, to succumb to them. I believe we have the propensity to fight these sensations, the sensations that bring us duress. I believe that these sensations create a rot in our lives. They create stress. The pains and mysteries that permeate my existence are things I can do nothing about. We all have pains in our life we can do nothing about. We can hope that these sensations will one day go away. But until we succumb to them, until we learn to meditate and have a relationship with them, then hope can't really collect the rot and disease that falls from the branches of our tree of life. Today, I went to my thoracic surgeon, and it was a decent experience. He is an excellent surgeon, and the scar that he left me with was a beautiful mark. The experience of going through surgery and recovering from it was horrific. That is the nature of having a lung removed, I believe he did the best he could. We had a good conversation. He asked me if I was still seeing my oncologist, and I said no. And he put a lot of emphasis that I really need to have another oncologist. I was surprised, and at the same time not surprised, when I told him that there are NET specialists, that there are people who specialize in my kind of cancer. He wasn't aware that there were specialists of it. And it took me back to the beginning of my journey when I asked my oncologist. I asked him, are there any specialists? Are there any clinical trials? Is there any research? And the answer was no, no, no. Whenever you're staring down the barrel of chemotherapy, when someone says you have stage 3 cancer, when you have a very rare and aggressive disease, you feel like your only choices is to listen to the doctor. Walking the road that has been gifted to me has been no easier, a blessing to endure. Though I cherish the moments over this year, it's still, I have discovered ways to transform the painful experiences into journeys that are rewarding. Some months ago, I was in the hospital. A great friend of mine drove me to the emergency room on the night of a heavy storm. I was experiencing immeasurable pain. The kind of pain that equaled the same magnitude of when I was recuperating in the hospital from the surgery. While I was there, I had reached a pain level of 10. An all-encompassing, never-ending, overwhelming pain. Though I was in this state of tremendous pain, there was a reward there. I reached a milestone. The milestone was that I was not experiencing fear. I was in incredible pain, but I was not fearful of the moment. I did not fear what was going to happen, what was wrong with me, or what hidden secrets may lie in the symptom of this pain. I had no fear of what may come. It was a profound experience, laying in that hospital bed with the fluorescent lights above me, the disgusting sanitary, sterile smell of the hospital. I was sitting up. One of the hospital techs was trying to poke into one of my veins. They tried again and again and again, each time missing, poking this place and that place, until eventually they found the right vein and plunged deep into it. Had they not have delivered the morphine into my system, I don't know how to answer that. I was already in a state of absolute pain. It just would have continued. As I laid in that bed, I thought to myself, I can remember it being a vivid memory as I looked to my very great friend, the look of concern on his eyes as tears flowed from mine. I imagined the terror that he must have been in. That moment whenever you sit beside someone that you love and you watch them in terrible agony and there is nothing you can do. The things you believe you might be able to do, you fear may bring them even greater pain. You sit in horror, watching, hoping, not knowing what is happening or what is to come. These moments are invaluable. They give us perspective on our reality. Our memories provide us doorways into ourselves. Not to lessen the experience, but to embrace each and every one of them. Right now I'm sharing this because in the beginning of this speech I felt pain, the nagging, the unyielding, overwhelming bite of neuropathy. As I explore that sensation, as I think about the sensation in the hospital, I think back even further. I think back to April 26th. It was the day I committed myself to a mental health facility. Just days before, I was driven beyond my limitation. I was driven to that point mostly because my pain level was beyond my ability to handle for too long